The sound of Jun-ho's fist connecting with Taemin's jaw echoes through the upscale lounge as the racist hits the floor and Zara stands frozen watching the man who called her a slur get knocked down, while Jun-ho's voice cuts through the stunned silence. Say one more word about her. I dare you. And for a brief intoxicating moment Zara believes this is love, that a Korean mafia boss who 3 weeks ago wouldn't even shake her hand just defended her honor in front of everyone. That the same man who dismissed her at his club like trash has transformed into her protector, her champion, someone willing to lose friendships and business connections just to stand up for her. And she's falling so hard and so fast she doesn't see what's coming next, doesn't realize that this grand romantic gesture is just the first thread in a web that will slowly strangle everything she is. Doesn't understand that the man throwing punches for her tonight will soon be throwing ultimatums that force her to choose between him and everyone else she loves, isolating her piece by piece until she's trapped in a penthouse wondering when protection became possession and love became control. But to understand how a brilliant, independent doctor ends up losing herself completely to a narcissist who uses romance as a weapon, we have to go back to the very beginning. To the night Jun-ho Kim walked into Eclipse nightclub being charming and seductive with white women. While preparing to show his true colors to the black doctor, his mother is forcing him to meet. Jun-ho pushed through the crowd at Eclipse, scanning for tonight's entertainment. He wasn't looking for conversation, just a warm body and an ego boost before tomorrow's board meeting. The hostess recognized him immediately. "Mr. Kim, right this way. I have some ladies who'd love to meet you." She led him to a corner booth where 3 women sat, 2 blondes and a brunette, all white, all dressed to kill. "Ladies, this is Jun-ho Kim. He owns the club." The brunette's eyes lit up. "Oh my God, we were just talking about how amazing this place is." Jun-ho slid into the booth, signaling the waitress. "Champagne for the table, the good stuff." He turned his full attention to them, smile easy and charming. "So what brings beautiful women like you to Seoul?" "Teaching English," one of the blondes said. "We're from California." "California girls in my club. Lucky me." Jun-ho let his gaze linger just long enough to make his interest clear. "You picking up Korean fast?" "Trying to. The guys here are so helpful," she giggled. "Everyone's been super sweet." "Not everyone's sweet, trust me, but I can show you the real Seoul, the places tourists never see." He leaned closer to the brunette. "You have incredible eyes. Has anyone told you that tonight?" She blushed. "You're smooth." "I'm honest." His hand brushed her arm, casual testing. "I like direct. Life's too short for games, so let me be direct. I find you incredibly attractive and I'd like to keep you company tonight. Your friends are welcome to stay, drink whatever they want, all on me, but you and I should talk, privately." The blonde friends exchanged knowing looks. The brunette bit her lip, clearly interested. "That's very forward, Mr. Kim." "Jun-ho, and yes, it is. You interested or not?" "I'm interested." "Good." Jun-ho stood, offering his hand. "There's a VIP lounge upstairs, much quieter." As they headed toward the stairs, the hostess intercepted them. "Mr. Kim, sorry, there's someone here who wanted to meet you. She says she knows your mother." Jun-ho's jaw tightened with annoyance. "I'm busy." "I told her that, but she insisted, just for a moment." "Fine, one moment." He turned to the brunette. "Wait for me upstairs, top of the stairs, turn left, help yourself to anything." She smiled and headed up. Jun-ho followed the hostess back toward the entrance where a black woman stood, clearly uncomfortable in the club atmosphere. Mid-30s, conservative dress, doctor's bag over her shoulder. "Mr. Kim, this is Dr. Zara Williams, she." "I know who she is." Jun-ho's voice went flat, cold. His entire demeanor shifted like someone had flipped a switch. "My mother mentioned you, the charity doctor." Zara extended her hand. "Nice to meet you. Your mother's been very generous too." Jun-ho ignored her hand. "Look, I don't know what my mother told you, but I'm not interested in whatever pitch you're here to make. The clinic donation was her choice, not mine. I wasn't pitching anything. She invited me to. Right, well, as you can see, I'm in the middle of something. His eyes flicked over her dismissively. The club's pretty packed tonight. You might be more comfortable somewhere else. There's a nice cafe down the street, more your speed. The hostess looked mortified. Zara's expression hardened. Excuse me. I'm saying this environment probably isn't for you. No offense, but you look out of place, and I need to get back to my guest. He was already turning away. Have a good night, doctor. Your mother specifically asked me to. Junho stopped, turned back. His voice dropped to something razor-sharp. My mother asks for a lot of things. Doesn't mean I deliver. Now, unless you're ordering drinks, you should probably leave before security gets the wrong idea. The threat was thinly veiled, clear. Zara's hands clenched. You're unbelievable. I'm busy. There's a difference. He walked away without another word, already forgetting she existed. The hostess whispered an apology. I'm so sorry, Dr. Williams. He's not usually. Yes, he is. Zara turned and walked out, humiliation burning in her chest. Upstairs, the brunette was waiting. Junho's smile returned like he'd put on a mask. Sorry about that, business. Where were we? The next morning, Junho woke up alone. The brunette long gone, just how he liked it. His phone showed 15 missed calls from his mother. He called back while making coffee. We need to talk, his mother said, no greeting. In person now. I have a meeting. Cancel it. 1 hour later, Junho sat in his mother's sitting room, already irritated. I heard about last night, she said. Dr. Williams called me, told me you humiliated her at your club. Junho shrugged. She showed up uninvited. I was with someone. You were cruel, deliberately, publicly cruel to a woman I specifically asked you to meet. You asked, I didn't agree. No, you agreed to the donation, and part of that agreement was treating Dr. Williams with basic respect. I don't remember signing anything that said I had to entertain every person you decide to befriend. His mother's eyes went cold. Fine, then I'll be clear. 1 blind date with Dr. Zara Williams, 3 hours, dinner at a place of my choosing. You will be polite, civil, and actually present, or I transfer controlling shares of the company to Minseok by end of business Friday. Junho laughed. You're bluffing. Am I? She slid a folder across the table. That's the transfer paperwork, already prepared. 1 signature and your cousin takes everything your father built. Junho opened the folder. Read the documents. His blood went cold. This is insane. This is necessary. You've become everything your father feared, powerful but hollow, rich but worthless. You treat people like garbage based on nothing but your own prejudices, and you think that makes you strong. It makes you weak, and weak men don't deserve empires. I run the most profitable. You run what your father built. You haven't created anything. You just maintain his legacy while poisoning it with your own rot. She stood. 1 date, 3 hours. Prove to me you're capable of basic humanity or lose everything. Junho's jaw clenched so hard his teeth ached. And if I go to this dinner and hate every second? Then at least you tried. That's more than you're doing now. This is blackmail. This is a mother saving her son from himself. Her expression softened slightly. Junho, you're destroying yourself, becoming smaller and meaner every day. I'm giving you a chance to stop. Take it. Junho stood, straightening his jacket. Fine, 1 dinner, then you never mention this again. Agreed. As he left, she called after him. And Junho, actually try. Dr. Williams is remarkable. You might surprise yourself. He slammed the door. Zara stared at the contract Mrs. Kim's lawyer had delivered. 5 million won, half up front. All for 3 hours of dinner with a man who'd already proven he was garbage. Don't do it, Park said, reading over her shoulder. That man is poison. That money pays for medications for 3 months. At what cost to your dignity? My dignity doesn't treat pneumonia. Zara signed the contract. It's 3 hours. I can survive anything for 3 hours. But she spent the next 2 days dreading Friday night. When the evening came, Zara wore her nicest dress, borrowed from Park again, and gave herself a pep talk in the mirror. 3 hours, get the money, never see him again. The restaurant was intimidatingly fancy. The hostess led Zara to a private room in the back. Jun-ho was already there, checking his phone, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. He glanced up when she entered, didn't stand, didn't smile. You're late. Zara checked her watch. I'm 3 minutes early. I've been here for 10, that makes you late. He gestured dismissively to the seat across from him. Sit, let's get this over with. Every word was designed to make her feel small. Zara sat, reminding herself that this asshole's money would save lives. Your mother seems to think we should get to know each other. My mother thinks a lot of things, most of them are wrong. Jun-ho poured himself sake, didn't offer her any. Let's be honest about what this is. She's paying you to have dinner with me. You took the money because your clinic is failing. I'm here because she threatened my inheritance. Neither of us wants to be here. So let's just sit in silence for 3 hours, you collect your check, and we never speak again. The clinic isn't failing. Right, that's why you're prostituting yourself for dinner money. The word hit like a slap. Zara's hands clenched under the table. Excuse me. What else would you call taking money to spend time with someone? You're a very well-paid escort for the evening. Don't dress it up as something noble. I'm a doctor trying to fund healthcare for people who should probably go to actual hospitals instead of some American playing savior in a country that doesn't need her. Jun-ho finally looked directly at her and his eyes were empty. You want to know what I actually think, Dr. Williams? I think you came to Korea because you couldn't cut it back home. Probably got tired of being overlooked, underestimated, rejected. So you came somewhere you could feel superior, important, special. You don't know anything about me. I know your type, the perpetual victim, always looking for someone to blame for your failures. Racism, sexism, whatever excuse works. Meanwhile, actually successful people just do the work. Zara's vision went red. You're calling me a victim. You're sitting here throwing a tantrum because your mommy made you have dinner with a black woman. I don't have tantrums. I'm simply stating facts. Facts or just your racist delusions. See, there it is, the race card, right on schedule. Jun-ho leaned back, satisfied. I don't hate you because you're black, Dr. Williams. I hate you because you're mediocre and desperate, and my mother thinks forcing me to endure your company will somehow make me a better person. It won't. It'll just waste 3 hours of my life I'll never get back. Zara stood. I'm leaving. Then you forfeit the money. She froze. Jun-ho smiled, cold, calculating. That was the deal, wasn't it? 3 hours for 5 million won. You leave early, the contract is void. So sit down, Dr. Williams. Endure my company like the professional you claim to be. Or walk out and explain to all those sick people why they're not getting medication this month because you couldn't handle a little honesty. The cruelty was breathtaking. Zara wanted to throw her drink in his face, wanted to walk out and never look back. Instead, she sat down. Because he was right, people were counting on that money. 3 hours, she said quietly. 2 hours and 54 minutes now. Better get comfortable. Jun-ho poured himself another drink and went back to his phone, completely ignoring her. This was going to be the longest 3 hours of Zara's life. 40 minutes in, Jun-ho finally spoke again. Tell me something, doctor. What makes you think you belong in Seoul? Zara looked up from the water she'd been nursing. What? It's a simple question. You're American, black. No family here, no cultural ties. So what makes you think this city needs you? I'm not here because the city needs me. I'm here because people are suffering and I have skills that can help." How noble. His tone made it clear he thought the opposite. And the fact that you probably couldn't get hired at a decent hospital in the States has nothing to do with it. "I chose to come here because it was your only option. Don't lie to me. I can smell desperation." Junho finally poured her sake, not a gesture of hospitality, just something to occupy his hands. "You know what the real problem is with people like you. I'm sure you're going to tell me. You think good intentions excuse incompetence. You think trying hard means you deserve success. But the world doesn't work that way. Results matter. Power matters. Everything else is just noise made by people who don't have either. So you measure human worth by power and results. How else would you measure it? Feelings," he laughed. "Intentions, those are currencies for people who have nothing real to offer. What about compassion, kindness? Weaknesses disguised as virtues?" Junho met her eyes. "You want honesty? Here it is. I don't like you, not because you're black, though I'll admit you're not my type aesthetically. I don't like you because you represent everything I despise. Weakness pretending to be strength, failure pretending to be noble, desperation pretending to be choice." Each word was a knife, precisely placed. "You're wrong about me," Zara said quietly. "Am I? Then tell me why you're really here, in Korea. Not the rehearsed story you tell at dinner parties, the truth." Zara was silent. "That's what I thought." Junho checked his watch. 2 hours and 7 minutes left. "Feel free to sit there quietly. I won't be offended." He went back to his phone. And Zara sat there, burning with humiliation and rage, wondering what kind of monster Mrs. Kim had raised. 1 hour and 30 minutes remaining. Junho ordered food without asking what Zara wanted. Expensive dishes she didn't recognize. He ate in silence, scrolling through emails, occasionally making calls in Korean that Zara couldn't understand. He treated her like furniture, like she wasn't even there. It was somehow worse than the insults. Finally, Zara couldn't take it anymore. "Why do you hate black women?" Junho looked up, mildly annoyed at the interruption. "I don't hate black women specifically. I'm an equal opportunity misanthropist." "Bullshit. I saw how you were with those white women at your club. All charm and attention. The second I appeared, you turned into this. This is who I always am. They just don't see it because they're useful to me. You're not." "Useful how?" "Entertainment, distraction, a pretty face for the evening." He said it casually, like discussing the weather. You're a problem my mother created that I now have to solve by sitting here pretending you're worth my time." "Your mother thinks I can help you." "My mother is sentimental. She thinks everyone can be saved with enough effort. She's wrong. Maybe she's just seen something in you worth saving." Junho laughed harsh, bitter. "There's nothing to save, Dr. Williams. I'm not a good man having a bad day. I'm not secretly kind underneath the cruelty. This is who I am, a narcissist, a racist, a man who measures human worth by utility and finds most people worthless. My mother thinks exposure to good people like you will change me. It won't. It'll just waste your time." "Then why are you here?" "Because she threatened my inheritance, and I like money more than I dislike you." He leaned forward. "Let me make this very clear so we don't waste the next hour on false hope. I will never like you. I will never respect you. I will never see you as anything more than an inconvenience I'm enduring for financial reasons. The best you can hope for is that I tolerate your presence without actively insulting you. And honestly, I'm not even guaranteeing that." Zara's eyes burned with tears she refused to shed. "You're a truly horrible person." "I know, I just don't care." Junho checked his watch. 1 hour and 3 minutes, almost done. He went back to his phone. And Zara sat there, wondering if any amount of money was worth this. 15 minutes left. Junho paid the bill without ceremony, stood without looking at her. "Time's almost up. I'm going to step outside for a cigarette. When I come back, we'll wait out the last few minutes, then you can leave and collect your blood money." He walked out. Zara sat alone in that private room, shaking with humiliation and rage, and something that felt uncomfortably close to shame. Her phone buzzed. "Mrs. Kim, how is it going?" Zara typed back, "Your son is a monster." The response was immediate. "I know, I'm sorry, please don't give up on him." Why would I ever see him again? Because he needs you, even if he doesn't know it yet. Zara stared at the message, then typed, "What he needs is therapy, not me." "Perhaps, but will you finish the evening, please?" Zara didn't respond. Junho came back smelling like smoke and expensive cologne. "Time's up, you're free to go." Zara stood, grabbed her bag, headed for the door. Then stopped. Turned back. "I'm going to tell you something your mother probably should have told you years ago. You're not special. You're not superior. You're just a broken, bitter man using cruelty as armor because you're terrified that if people see the real you, they'll realize there's nothing they're worth knowing." Junho's expression didn't change. "Are you done?" "Not even close. You think you've won something tonight by making me feel small, but all you've done is prove that wealth and power can't buy the one thing you actually need, the ability to connect with another human being. You'll die alone, surrounded by people who tolerate you for your money and hate you for everything else, and you'll deserve it." She walked out. Behind her, Junho stood very still. Then slowly his mask cracked. Just slightly. Just enough to reveal something that might have been pain. He pulled out his phone, stared at it for a long moment. Then typed a message to his mother. "You were right, I'm broken. I don't know how to fix it." Her response came instantly. "That's the first step. The second is admitting you want to try." Junho stared at the message for a long time. Then deleted it without responding. 3 days later, flowers arrived at Zara's clinic. Black roses, 3 dozen. The card said, "I owe you 15 minutes. The dinner went over. Friday, 8 p.m., same restaurant. This time I'm asking, not being forced." Zara threw the card in the trash. 2 hours later, her phone buzzed. "Unknown number." "I know you threw away the card, I would have too, but I'm asking anyway. One more dinner, not for my mother, for me. I want to try to be better. I don't know if I can, but I want to try, with you." Zara stared at the message for a long time. Then typed back, "Why me?" "Because you're the only person who's been honest with me in years. Everyone else just tells me what I want to hear. You told me what I needed to hear. I don't like it, but I respect it." "Respect isn't enough." "I know, but it's a start. Will you give me a chance to do better?" Zara should have said no, should have blocked the number and moved on. Instead, she typed, "One dinner, but I'm not pretending you didn't show me exactly who you are. You want better, prove it." "Fair, Friday, 8 p.m. I promise I'll actually try this time." Zara put down her phone. Park appeared in the doorway. "Was that him?" "Yeah." "What did you say?" "I said yes." Park's expression was pure concern. "Dr. Williams." I know it's stupid, but..." Zara couldn't explain it. The feeling that underneath all that cruelty was someone drowning, someone who needed help even if he was too proud to ask for it. 3 more hours, that's all. Then I'm done. But she already knew that was a lie. Because Junho Kim, horrible, broken, narcissistic Junho Kim, had gotten under her skin. And she was about to make the biggest mistake of her life by thinking she could fix him. Friday arrived too fast. Zara wore the same dress, told herself this wasn't important enough to buy something new. The same hostess led her to the same private room. Junho was waiting, but this time he stood when she entered. "Dr. Williams, thank you for coming." His voice was different, softer, almost humble. "I'm here, don't make me regret it." Junho gestured to the seat, poured sake for both of them before sitting. I've been thinking about what you said, about dying alone, about being broken. And you weren't wrong. He met her eyes. I am broken, my father was. Difficult, he taught me that weakness gets punished. That trust is suicide. That the only way to survive is to never let anyone close enough to hurt you. So I didn't. I built walls, made cruelty a reflex, convinced myself that not needing anyone made me strong. It doesn't. I'm starting to understand that. Jun-ho took a breath. I can't promise I'll be good at this, at being different, better. I've spent 34 years becoming this person. Changing won't happen overnight. I'm not asking for overnight, I'm asking for effort, real effort, not performance. What's the difference? Performance is doing the right thing when people are watching. Effort is doing the work even when no one will ever know. Jun-ho was quiet for a moment. Last time I called you mediocre, desperate, said terrible things specifically designed to hurt you. I need you to know that wasn't honesty, that was cruelty. There's a difference, and I'm sorry I pretended there wasn't. The apology landed like a brick. Zara hadn't expected it. Why the sudden change? She asked carefully. Because you were right about everything, and I'm tired. Jun-ho's voice cracked slightly. I'm so tired of being this person, of waking up every day knowing I'm becoming more like my father, of pushing everyone away and then wondering why I'm alone, of using prejudice as a shield so I never have to examine whether I'm actually worth knowing. That's a lot of realization for 3 days. I've been thinking it for years, you just said it out loud. He leaned forward. I don't expect you to fix me, or save me, or even like me. But I'm asking, would you be willing to try to know me? The real me under all the garbage, because I think there might be someone worth knowing buried under decades of damage, and I think you might be the only person honest enough to help me find out. It was everything Zara had wanted to hear last time. Now it just felt like a trap. How do I know this isn't just another manipulation? She asked quietly. Another game to feel superior. You get me to invest, then pull the rug out. You can't know, that's what trust is, a risk. Jun-ho's hands were shaking slightly. All I can offer is honesty, and the truth is I don't know if I can change. I don't know if I'm capable of being the person you deserve. But I want to try, and I've never wanted anything like that before. Zara studied him, looking for the lie, the performance, the narcissist playing a new game. Instead, she saw fear, vulnerability, something that looked almost like hope. One condition, she said finally. Name it. No more tests. No more cruelty disguised as honesty. If you're going to be terrible, be obviously terrible. Don't dress it up as some kind of favor. I can handle your damage. I can't handle you pretending it's for my own good. Jun-ho nodded slowly. Deal, and one condition of my own. What? Be patient with me, but I'm asking you not to give up the first time I revert to old patterns. Give me a chance to correct, to do better. He raised his sake cup. To honesty, even when it's ugly. Zara hesitated, then raised her own cup. To effort, even when it fails. They drank. And the game, the real one, the one that would consume them both, began. The first month was a masterclass in whiplash. Monday, Jun-ho sent a massive donation to the clinic with a note. For the people you're helping, not payment, just support, J. Tuesday, he showed up at the clinic unannounced, watched Zara work for 3 hours without saying a word, then left without explanation. Wednesday, he texted, dinner tonight, I want to hear about your day. They met at a small Korean restaurant, not the fancy place his mother had chosen, somewhere normal. Jun-ho asked questions, actually listened, seemed genuinely interested in her work. Thursday, he didn't contact her at all. Radio silence. Friday, Zara texted him, you okay? His response came 6 hours later, just busy, not everything is about you. The cruelty was casual, thoughtless, like flipping a switch. Saturday morning, Flowers arrived with an apology. That was unnecessarily harsh. I'm trying. Sometimes I fail, I'm sorry. Sunday, he called. I want to see you, but I need you to understand something first. What? I'm not going to be good at this. At us. Whatever this is. I'm going to have bad days where I revert to being the asshole you met at that first dinner. And I need to know, can you handle that? Or should we stop now before I hurt you worse? It was a warning disguised as vulnerability. Zara should have heard the alarm bells. Instead, she said, I can handle it as long as you're actually trying. I promise I am. And she believed him. Week 3, Junho invited Zara to meet some friends at an upscale lounge in Gangnam. Just drinks, he said, nothing formal, but these are people I've known since university. I want them to meet you. Zara wore her best dress, still borrowed from Park, and met Junho at the entrance. He looked incredible in dark jeans and a black button-down, and when he saw her, his face lit up. You look stunning. Thank you. He took her hand, a simple gesture that still made Zara's heart race, and led her inside. The lounge was all dark wood and dim lighting, expensive whiskey and people who looked like they'd never worked a day in their lives. Junho's friends occupied a corner booth, 3 men and 2 women, all Korean, all polished. Everyone, this is Zara, Junho said, his hand warm at her back. Zara, these are my friends from university. Introductions were made, polite smiles, careful handshakes. Then Taemin, tall, expensive suit, slick-back hair, really looked at Zara. His expression shifted from polite interest to something cold. Wait, Junho, this is your girlfriend. The emphasis on this was sharp as a knife. Junho's hand tightened at Zara's back. Yes, Zara's a doctor. She runs a clinic in Itaewon. A doctor, Taemin's smile didn't reach his eyes. How progressive of you. The table went quiet. The other friends exchanged uncomfortable glances. What's that supposed to mean? Junho's voice had gone flat. Nothing, just surprised. Taemin took a long drink. I mean, we all remember what you said after that trip to LA about certain types of women, about standards, and now here you are with. Careful, Junho interrupted, his voice dropping to something dangerous. With what? I'm just making an observation. Taemin turned to Zara, his smile condescending. No offense, Dr. Williams, I'm sure you're very accomplished, but Junho here has always been very particular about aesthetics, very traditional, so forgive me for being shocked that he's suddenly dating a black woman, Zara finished, her voice sharp. You can say it, that's clearly what you mean. Taemin laughed. See, so sensitive, Americans are always so ready to play the victim. Taemin, shut the fuck up. Junho's voice cut through the lounge. Several nearby tables turned to look. Oh, come on, we're all thinking it. Taemin leaned back, enjoying himself. What happened to I'd never date one? What happened to not my type, never will be? Remember that, Junho, you said that multiple times. So what changed? You lose a bet, trying to piss off your mother. Or is this some kind of midlife crisis thing? Junho's hand shot out, grabbing Taemin's collar and yanking him forward so fast his drink spilled. I said, shut the fuck up. The entire lounge went silent. You want to know what changed? Junho's voice was low, controlled, absolutely lethal. I met someone who made me realize I was a pathetic, prejudiced piece of shit. Someone who called me out on every ugly thought I'd ever had and didn't back down when I tried to intimidate her. Someone who's brilliant and kind and stronger than I'll ever be. That's what changed. He shoved Taemin back. Zara is my girlfriend, not my experiment, not my rebellion. My actual real girlfriend who I'm falling in love with. And if you, or anyone at this table, has a problem with that, you can get the fuck out of my life permanently. Taemin straightened his collar, face red with humiliation and rage. You're serious? Deadly. Then you're a fucking idiot. Taemin stood. She doesn't belong in our world, Junho. She doesn't understand it. And the second things get difficult, when your business partners start asking questions, when your family starts pushing back, when society reminds you exactly what you're throwing away for this, you'll realize I was right. Or maybe I'll realize I should have cut you out of my life years ago when you first showed me who you really are. Junho stood too, positioning himself between Taemin and Zara. Get out. You're not welcome around me anymore. Fine, but don't come crying to me when this blows up in your face. Taemin grabbed his jacket. When she realizes you're just slumming, when you realize she's just using you for money and status, you'll see. They always do. Junho moved so fast Zara barely saw it. 1 second he was standing. The next, his fist connected with Taemin's jaw with a sickening crack. Taemin hit the floor. Say one more word about her, I dare you. Taemin wiped blood from his lip, laughed bitterly, stood and walked out. The remaining friends sat frozen. Junho turned to them. Anyone else have opinions they'd like to share? Silence. Good, he threw cash on the table. Zara, let's go. They walked out into Seoul's neon night, Junho's hand still shaking with adrenaline. 2 blocks away, Zara stopped him. You hit him. He insulted you. You've never hit anyone for me before. I've never had someone insult you to your face before. Junho turned to her, eyes wild. I'm sorry. I know that was violent and excessive and probably scared you, but I couldn't. I couldn't just sit there and let him. Zara kissed him. Hard, desperate, pouring 3 weeks of doubt and fear and hope into it. When they broke apart, Junho looked stunned. What was that for? For defending me, for choosing me over a friendship, for actually meaning it when you said you were changing. Zara's eyes burned with tears, for punching a racist asshole in the face. Junho laughed shaky, genuine. He deserved it. He really did. I meant what I said in there, about falling in love with you. I know it's fast, I know it's complicated, but I'm falling in love with you too. The words hung between them like a promise and a curse. Junho pulled her close. But I need you to know what Taemin said about you not belonging. He's wrong. You belong anywhere you choose to be, and I'm honored you're choosing to be with me. It was everything Zara needed to hear. Which should have been her first warning that the cost would be devastating. Week 5. Junho was perfect. Attentive, respectful, genuinely trying. He attended clinic fundraisers, met Zara's colleagues, asked intelligent questions about her work. But slowly, so slowly Zara didn't notice at first, things shifted. You don't need to work 6 days a week, Junho mentioned casually one morning. The clinic is fully funded now. Hire more staff. Take time for yourself, for us. Reasonable caring. Zara cut back to 5 days. Those volunteers you work with, they're kind of negative, don't you think? Always complaining about funding, about the system. You deserve more positive energy. Framed as concern for her well-being. Zara started distancing herself from her colleagues. Why would you go back to America for Christmas? Your family can visit here. I'll pay for their tickets, first class. It'll be amazing. Generous, thoughtful. Zara canceled her flight home. Piece by piece, Junho rebuilt her world with himself at the center. And Zara didn't see it happening, because every change came wrapped in love and concern, and the promise that he was just trying to make her life easier. Park tried to warn her. Dr. Williams, you haven't eaten lunch with us in 3 weeks. You used to tell us everything. Now you barely talk. I'm just busy. Junho and I have been. Junho and I, that's all you say anymore. What about you? What do you want? Zara opened her mouth, closed it. Realized she didn't know anymore. I'm fine, she said finally, just adjusting. But Park's words echoed in her head all day. That night, Zara mentioned it to Junho. Park thinks I'm spending too much time with you. Junho looked up from his laptop, expression carefully neutral. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe I have been a little isolated. Isolated? Junho's voice was soft, gentle. Zara, you're living your best life. New opportunities, stable funding, amazing relationship. Park's just jealous. She's not jealous. Isn't she? Think about it. She's working at a struggling clinic while you're dating one of the most powerful men in Seoul. Of course she's going to try to bring you down. It's human nature. That's not, Park isn't like that. Junho's expression shifted, hurt, vulnerable. I'm just trying to protect you from people who don't have your best interests at heart, but if you don't trust my judgment, just say so. The manipulation was surgical. I trust you, Zara said quickly. I'm sorry, you're right, Park's probably just adjusting to the changes. Exactly, give her time, she'll come around. Junho pulled Zara close. I love you, you know that, right? Everything I do is because I want you happy. I love you too. But the words felt hollow. Like reciting lines in a play she didn't remember auditioning for. Month 2. Zara moved into Junho's penthouse. Just temporarily, she told Park, until I find a better place. But she never looked for another place. Junho was amazing. Supportive, generous, actually present in ways Zara had never experienced. He attended her clinic shifts, learned about medicine just to understand her work better, introduced her to his world with genuine pride. But the rules were appearing, subtle at first. Wear the blue dress tonight. The black one makes you look tired. Don't mention the clinic funding issues to my investors. It makes me look careless with money. Cancel drinks with Park. We have dinner plans. They didn't have dinner plans. Why are you texting at 11 p.m.? Who is it? It was her mother. Each rule came wrapped in love, in concern, in the promise that he knew what was best. And Zara followed them because she loved him, because he'd defended her, because he'd changed for her, because she was drowning and didn't even know it. Month 3. The mask started slipping. They were at another business dinner, investors Junho needed to impress. Zara wore the dress he'd picked, said the things he'd coached her to say, smiled when he touched her shoulder in that possessive way that used to feel protective but now felt like ownership. One of the investors, an older man with kind eyes, asked Zara about her clinic. It must be so rewarding, he said, helping people who can't afford care. It is, Zara said, grateful for genuine interest. Just yesterday we treated a woman who... It keeps her busy, Junho interrupted smoothly, his hand tightening on Zara's shoulder. Though I keep telling her she works too hard. She needs to slow down, enjoy life more. The investor smiled. Independent women, they're a challenge, aren't they? Junho laughed. You have no idea. Like Zara was a problem to manage. In the car afterward, Zara was quiet. What? Junho asked. You interrupted me when I was talking about the clinic. I was redirecting. That guy doesn't care about your clinic. He was just being polite. How do you know? He seemed genuinely interested. Because I know these people, Zara. I know how they think. And trust me, they don't actually care about your charity work. They're just making conversation. So I should just not talk about my work. Junho's jaw clenched. I didn't say that. I said read the room, know your audience. Not everyone needs to hear your entire life story. I was answering his question. You were dominating the conversation, making everything about you. I was trying to help you not embarrass yourself. The words hit like a slap. Embarrass myself. You know what I mean. You don't always understand the dynamics of these situations, and I'm trying to help you navigate them, but if you'd rather fumble through on your own. I wasn't fumbling, I was having a conversation. Junho pulled the car over, turned to her, expression cold. Are we really going to do this? Fight over nothing. I gave you a gentle correction because I love you and want you to succeed in my world, and now you're turning it into some big thing. It's not nothing to me. Everything is something to you. Every comment, every suggestion, every attempt I make to help you, you turn it into an attack. It's exhausting, Zara. Tears burned her eyes. I'm exhausting. Junho's expression softened, reached for her hand. I didn't mean it like that. I'm stressed. Work has been insane, and I'm trying to manage everything, including helping you adjust to this world, and sometimes I snap. I'm sorry. The apology was automatic, practiced. Zara wanted to push back, to stand her ground. Instead, she said, I'm sorry too. I know you're just trying to help. I am, I promise. Junho kissed her forehead. I love you, even when you're being difficult. The casual cruelty was wrapped so carefully in affection that Zara almost missed it. Almost. Park cornered Zara at the clinic 2 days later. We need to talk, really talk. Park, I don't have time. Make time. Park pulled her into the supply closet. You've lost weight, you don't smile anymore, and you apologize constantly for things that aren't your fault. What is he doing to you? Nothing. Junho's been amazing. Then why do you look terrified right now? Zara opened her mouth, closed it. He loves me, she said finally. That's not what I asked. He's trying, he's changing. He defended me against his racist friend. And then what? Use that as credit to control you, to isolate you, to make you feel like you owe him. Park's expression was fierce. Dr. Williams, I've seen this pattern before. My sister dated a man like this, charming at first, protective. Then slowly he became the only voice in her head, the only opinion that mattered. By the time she realized what was happening, she'd lost herself completely. Junho's not like that. Isn't he? When was the last time you made a decision without wondering what he'd think? When was the last time you felt good enough? When was the last time you recognized yourself? The questions hit like bullets. Because Zara couldn't remember. I have to go, she whispered. Junho's picking me up in 10 minutes, and if I'm late. If you're late, what? He'll be angry, disappointed, withdraw his love until you apologize. That's not, but Zara's voice cracked. Because it was exactly that. Park grabbed her hands. Listen to me. You are not responsible for fixing him. You are not his rehabilitation project. And love should never feel like walking on eggshells. Please, see what's happening before it's too late. Zara's phone buzzed. Junho, I'm outside. Don't keep me waiting. The anxiety was immediate, overwhelming. I have to go, Zara said, pulling away. Dr. Williams. But Zara was already leaving, already preparing her smile, already becoming the version of herself Junho expected. The version that was slowly erasing the real her. That night Junho was cold, distant, radiating disapproval without saying why. What's wrong? Zara asked carefully. Nothing. But his nothing meant everything. They ate dinner in silence. Zara's stomach churned with anxiety. Finally Junho spoke. How was your day? Good, busy. We treated 40 patients. Did you talk to Park? The question was casual, but Zara felt the trap. Briefly, just about clinic stuff. Clinic stuff, right. Junho set down his fork. Because my driver mentioned seeing you two in what looked like an intense conversation in the supply closet. That doesn't sound like clinic stuff. Her driver, reporting back like a spy. We were just talking. About me, about us, about how terrible I am, right? Junho's voice was soft, dangerous. What did she say this time? That I'm controlling, abusive, that you should leave me. She's just worried. She's poisoning you against me. Can't you see that? Every time you talk to her, you come back different, distant, questioning everything. She's trying to destroy what we have. That's not true. Isn't it? Junho started packing. I've given you everything, Zara. Money, security, love, protection. I've changed my entire life for you, and you're going to believe some jealous nurse over me. She's not jealous, she's my friend. Friends don't try to sabotage your happiness. Junho's voice rose. Friends don't plant doubt and insecurity and make you question the best thing that's ever happened to you. You're being paranoid. I'm being realistic, he was shouting now. I know people like Park, I know how they operate. They can't stand to see you happy, so they whisper poison until you believe it, and apparently it's working. That's not what's happening. Then prove it. Choose, me or her. Us or your so-called friendship with someone who clearly doesn't want you to be happy. The ultimatum hung in the air like a guillotine. Zara's hand shook. You can't ask me to choose. I just did. Either you trust me, trust us, or you don't. And if you don't, maybe we're done. The threat was clear. Zara felt something inside her chest shatter. I choose you, she heard herself whisper. I'll talk to Park, set boundaries. Junho's expression softened immediately. He pulled her into his arms. Thank you, God, thank you. I'm sorry I got upset. I just love you so much. The thought of losing you to someone else's poison, I can't handle it. You won't lose me. Promise. I promise. Junho kissed her, and Zara kissed back, ignoring the voice in her head screaming that she just made a terrible mistake. Ignoring the truth that she wasn't choosing Junho. She was choosing the cage he'd built. And calling it love. The next day, Zara told Park they needed space. Park's expression crumbled. He made you do this. Nobody made me do anything. I just think we need professional boundaries. Professional boundaries. We've been friends for 2 years. I've held your hair back while you vomited from exhaustion. I've covered your shifts when you were sick. And now you're cutting me out because your abusive boyfriend told you to. He's not abusive. Then why are you terrified of him? Park stepped closer. Why are your hands shaking right now? Why can't you look me in the eye? I'm not. You're lying, to me, to yourself. And one day you're going to wake up and realize you've lost everything that made you who you are, and it'll be too late. Zara turned and walked away. Went home to Junho, who praised her for setting healthy boundaries and celebrated by taking her to dinner, where he ordered for her without asking, corrected her posture, checked her phone while she was in the bathroom. And Zara said nothing, did nothing, just smiled and said thank you and became smaller with every passing second, until she was barely there at all. Month 4. Zara had stopped going to the clinic entirely. Junho had convinced her to take a sabbatical. You've been working so hard, you deserve rest. Besides, I've hired excellent staff. They don't need you hovering. Her clinic, the one she'd built, now running without her. Zara spent her days in Junho's penthouse, waiting for him to come home, preparing herself to be perfect, the right mood, the right outfit, the right response to whatever version of him walked through the door. Some days he was loving, attentive, the man who defended her against T-Men. Other days he was cold, critical, finding fault in everything she did. And Zara never knew which version she'd get until the door opened. She'd lost 19 pounds, stopped calling her family, had no friends left. Junho was her entire world. And that world was suffocating her. One night she stood on the balcony, looking down at Seoul's lights and thought, what if I just... The thought scared her enough that she called her mother for the first time in 2 months. Zara, baby, I've been so worried. Mom, her voice cracked, I think I need help. What's wrong? Are you okay? I don't know anymore. I'm with someone and he loves me, but sometimes I feel like I'm disappearing, and I don't know if that's normal or if I'm overreacting or... Slow down, baby, tell me about him. So Zara did. Everything, the first dinner, the transformation, the defense against T-Men, the slow isolation, the rules, the fear. Her mother was quiet for a long time. Then Zara, listen to me carefully. That's not love, that's control, and you need to leave. Now, tonight. I can't. Yes, you can. Pack a bag, leave while he's at work. Come home, we'll figure everything else out later. But I love him. Love doesn't make you disappear, baby. Love doesn't make you afraid. What you're describing, that's abuse. And I need you to hear that, really hear it. Zara was crying now. I don't know how to leave. One step at a time. Pack a bag, call a cab, get to the airport. I'll have a ticket waiting. He'll find me. Let him try. You're stronger than you think. You're my daughter. And you don't belong to anyone but yourself. The words cracked something open in Zara's chest. Okay, she whispered. Okay, I'll try. I'll stay on the phone with you the whole time. Start packing. Zara went to the bedroom, pulled out a suitcase. Started gathering clothes. Then the door opened. Junho stood there, home 2 hours early, staring at the half-packed suitcase. What are you doing? His voice was soft, deadly. Zara's mother's voice came from the phone. Zara, what's happening? Junho crossed the room in 3 strides, grabbed the phone, ended the call. I asked you a question. What are you doing? And Zara realized she just made everything infinitely worse. The end. She tried to leave. He caught her. And now the real horror begins because narcissists don't let go easily. What happens next will either save her or destroy her completely. Drop your predictions in the comments. Like and subscribe for stories that don't pull punches. Next time, the ending you won't see coming.